For 12 years, the ocean has kept MH370 hidden. Recently, a renewed search brought fresh hope. A new zone, new robots scanning the deepest parts of the ocean floor, and a deal where the search company only gets paid if they actually find the plane. Experts called this the best shot yet. But did earlier searches miss the wreckage by just a few miles? March 8, 2014. Just past midnight, a Boeing 777 lifted off from Kuala Lumpur International Airport. Flight MH370, bound for Beijing, China. 239 people on board. 1:07 in the morning, the plane sent a routine data message. Everything was normal. 12 minutes later, at 1:19 a.m., one of the pilots made the final call to air traffic control. Good night, Malaysian 370.
Malaysian 370, contact Ho Chi Minh 120.9. Good night.
Good night, Malaysian 370.
1 minute later, the transponder went dark. A transponder is the device that keeps air traffic control informed about where a plane is, how fast it is flying, and at what altitude. The moment it stopped, MH370 vanished from every radar screen. Controllers tried to reach the crew. No reply, no distress call. No emergency signal of any kind. By morning, families in Beijing had been waiting at the arrival gate for hours. The plane never came. News spread fast. Malaysia Airlines Flight MH370 was missing somewhere over the ocean.
Malaysia Airlines Flight MH370 vanished from radar shortly after taking off from Kuala Lumpur.
No one could explain it, and no one could find it. Popular Mechanics 26 countries sent ships and planes to help. First, the South China Sea, then the Andaman Sea, then deeper into the Indian Ocean. Days became weeks, weeks became months. The more they searched, the more one reality became impossible to ignore. Nobody knew where MH370 had gone. It became the biggest aviation mystery the world had ever seen. MH370 was silent, but it was not invisible to everything. A British company called Inmarsat operates satellites that automatically exchange small electronic signals with commercial aircraft. These signals are called handshakes. They need no pilot input. After MH370's transponder went dark, those handshakes kept coming, 7 in total. More than 6 hours after the plane had disappeared from radar, Inmarsat engineers studied the timing and frequency of each signal. Their calculations pointed somewhere no one had expected. MH370 had turned south. It had flown for hours into the southern Indian Ocean, one of the most remote stretches of open water on Earth. From that data, investigators mapped what became known as the seventh arc, a curved line drawn across the ocean representing all the positions where MH370 could have been when the final signal was sent. Fuel calculations showed the plane had almost certainly run out of fuel somewhere along that line and gone down into the water below. The seventh arc became the only real lead investigators had. Every search that followed was built around it. What followed was the most expensive underwater search in aviation history. Australia led a joint effort with Malaysia and China starting in late 2014. Ships dragged sonar equipment across the ocean floor for nearly 3 years. The search covered more than 120,000 square kilometers of seabed. That is larger than the entire country of Greece. The cost reached close to $200 million. They found no wreckage. Ocean Infinity entered the search under a no-find, no-fee arrangement with Malaysia. They used a fleet of robot submarines capable of diving deep and scanning the ocean floor without any human on board. They covered another 120,000 square kilometers in just a few months. Again, nothing. The Blue and White 2 massive searches. Zero confirmed wreckage. The southern Indian Ocean is punishing territory. Water depths reach 4 to 5 kilometers. Storms can stop operations for weeks at a time. But weather was only part of the problem. The deeper issue was the shape of the ocean floor itself. Sections of the seabed along the seventh arc drop away at steep angles. The sonar systems used in earlier searches needed relatively flat terrain to produce clean readings. Where the floor sloped too sharply, the equipment could not get the accurate images needed to rule an area out. Those steep zones were essentially skipped over, not because searchers chose to ignore them, but because the technology at the time could not handle the terrain. In the years that followed, Independent researchers kept working. They tracked drift models, which calculate how floating debris moves through ocean currents over time. Those models, combined with fresh satellite analysis, pointed to one specific stretch of the seventh arc that had never been fully scanned. The debris confirmed the direction. In July 2015, a wing piece called a flaperon was found on the French island of La Réunion. French investigators confirmed it came from MH370. A wing flap turned up in Tanzania in 2016. A trailing edge piece was found in Mauritius. More than 20 items were collected and sent for formal analysis. 3 were confirmed as belonging to MH370. When scientists ran drift models backward from where those pieces landed, the math pointed to the same location every time, an area no earlier search had been able to reach. That gap had been sitting there since the very first search vessel arrived in 2014. 11 years passed. 2 major search campaigns came and went, and the most likely resting place of MH370 was never once properly scanned. Not because nobody tried, because the tools they had were not built for that terrain. In March 2025, the Malaysian government finalized a new agreement with Ocean Infinity. The payment terms said everything about how serious this was. Ocean Infinity would receive $70 million, only if the wreckage was confirmed. Not for time at sea, not for effort, only for finding the plane. On March 8, 2026, the 12th anniversary of the disappearance, Ocean Infinity announced that their search had concluded as of late January without any findings. Although their contract with Malaysia officially runs until June 2026, behind every number in this story is a person who never came home. 239 families have spent 12 years without answers. Somewhere on the floor of the southern Indian Ocean, along the seventh arc, the wreckage of MH370 is waiting. The flight data recorder that holds the full story of March 8, 2014, is still down there. 3 confirmed pieces of the plane have washed up on coastlines thousands of miles away. The drift data and satellite calculations both point to a zone that earlier equipment could not properly scan. For the first time, that exact area was searched with technology built to handle it. While the active mission has ended, the contract officially runs until June 2026. After 12 years and more than 250,000 square kilometers of ocean floor covered, the search for MH370 remains the most focused effort in aviation history. Will a future mission finally bring the answer home? The ocean is still holding the secret, but the experts looking for MH370 believe the data is stronger than ever and that one day they will finally search the exact right spot